Okay, as I said before, one thing leads to another. One thing. Anyway, sorry for that. What I noticed when we got the guitar ambience right was I turned it down just a hair. I wimped out just a bit. I tend to do that. To each his own. I like to use too much reverb all the time and then slowly back it down. It's my process. If I slowly bring it up, then I'll never put enough in there. So that's just the way I've always worked, and it's been better for me. Your mileage may vary. Now, once I heard that the reverb was rocking, I decided, oh, that bass clang is driving me bonkers. And I'm more tolerant of bass clang and clack than most people. I kind of like that a little bit. It's part of just the nasty fun. But it was distracting for some reason, and so I have to deal with it. So I pulled out our old multiband, and let's see what I did. I don't have it going yet. Let's see. It was like dun 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 dun. He's like a little bit distracting. I think it takes away from the big whatever. And we don't have to go too nuts here. I just want to catch those when they get kind of bad. And so you may remember we used the yellow guy here to tame that low mid, I don't even know what the word is for it, but let's see. We had a ratio 1.73. Here's what we had before this one. Oh, I can just bypass it. And actually listening to it now, it sounds a hair, maybe not thin, but lacking in girth. Well, by turning this on, you'll see here that we're going to nuke a lot of that 500, and that's going to re-emphasize those deeper frequencies. So take a listen. That's another case of something we saw before where by cutting, we emphasize other stuff. It's as if we boosted, the big stuff. But you usually don't think about a track getting bigger because you tamed 500. But that's exactly how it works. So keep that in mind in your head, that if you want more of one thing, just use less of another. Now, back to this clackety-clack stuff. And this isn't a terrible case, by the way. This is just, I'm not even sure this qualifies as clack. Of course, here we go, getting into ridiculous semantics of audio, which is a topic I just love. But what I did was I fired up this green dude, and pretty fast attack. What did I put it on? 416 microseconds, so under 1 millisecond attack time easily. And the release is whatever. I didn't even care about that. And I just played with the threshold, and I think I had the ratio pretty high, kind of like a limiter. We'll go 6:1 and see. All right, and we'll control how much we dampen these by adjusting the threshold here. So we'll start with nothing. Yeah, and for some reason, what's really cool about that, I don't really normally go yeah whenever I hear less clack. Like that's not something we high five about here in my world. But what I noticed is that bass took on the role it was intended to. You knew this guy was made for this particular bass sound, or this song at least was calling for it. By taming that stuff, for some reason, it changed where the bass stood and where the guitar stood, maybe even where the drum stood. It just made sense to mix it. And I'm judging that from a very musical feel. There's nothing sciencey about it. There's no rule that says we can't have clack. A million awesome mixes have it. But in this particular case, taking it out just made this thing open up to me. So one way to get rid of this clack business is with the multiband compressor. It's my favorite tool for that. You can also do it with this DEQ if you want. That gets a little bit trickier, and it's less fun. And less intuitive, I guess. By only clamping down on it when it's a problem, I feel like I'm not crushing the tone all the time. I'm a lot more just nudging it back and on course when it needs to be. But